A warm welcome to Anuradha Vedic Astrology. Today, we are going to talk with Pratibha, my yoga instructor. A warm welcome, Didi.
Thank you.
About pranayam. How does it relate to astrology? Well, do listen to it because you will get a surprising conclusion about astrology from pranayam. But before that, a big thanks to all of you for liking, sharing, and subscribing to our YouTube and Spotify channels and writing in your comments and suggestions there. If you haven't subscribed to our channels, please do. And do remember to press the bell icon so that you can get the updates ASAP. A warm welcome, Didi.
Thank you, Anuradha. I'm so happy to be back here.
Yes, Didi, a welcome back, in fact, I should say. So, Didi, first and foremost, why is pranayam necessary for us in our everyday lives? If we can begin from there, that would be the best part.
Why is pranayam necessary for our lives? Anuradha, what is the first thing that one does when one is born?
Yes, obviously, breathe.
What is the last thing when somebody just is on the deathbed, or when do we say that the person is dead? When there is no...
That is last, yes.
Right?
He is last, yes.
So breath is life. And you can actually feel and you can experience life through the breath. You can experience life within you through your breath. So if we are not connected with the breath, then we are missing the whole point. So pranayam is actually the crux of the whole matter. It is your mind-body connect, as everybody says. And as we progress in the discussion, we'll understand better how it is a mind-body connect, because it is the key, it is the bridge between the wellness, between the body and the mind. Some things that the body cannot get the remedy itself, or the mind cannot remedy it itself, we can do it through the breath. So it is that one channel, it is that one thread or one key, I would say, that can unlock a lot of health and wellness for ourselves.
So I know that you take, separate classes, 140-minute week class for breath. So that also shows the importance of breath. And as you were just going to say, talking about that it connects the mind and the body. How does that connect the mind and the body?
To give you an example, Anuradha, whenever we are very, very angry, whenever we are very angry, how is the breath? Very fast and very shallow. When we are frustrated, when we are frightened, when we have the fear, how is the breath? Very erratic. It is not smooth, right? So the state of the mind is altering the state of your breath. Now, when you go on a holiday, or say you hear some good news, or somebody whom you really love comes to you, how is the breath? You've come. Oh, this is such a wonderful place. How is the breath? Very deep, very long. So the state of the mind is changing the quality of your breath. So that is why when we change the quality of the breath, we can actually change the state of the mind. But the only problem here is you're angry and you suddenly want to control your anger, or not control is not the right word. You want to manage your anger, because when you're angry, you do things which you regret later. So at that point, when you're angry, you want to manage the anger. Breath is a very handy tool. But if you're not connected to the breath, if you're not regularly focusing and observing the breath, at that point, the last thing you will remember is to work with the breath. That is why a daily practice of pranayam or breath work or being aware of the breath is important, so that when it is much needed, you remember it and then you can manage it. So for anger management, breath is very, very helpful.
And just so that we can connect it with astrology, anger represents a form of Rahu, where we end up doing things erratically, not without much, former thought, or when we are actually conniving or doing things which are not correct. Then also our breath is very erratic and waiting for the anticipation. When we want to get this Rahu straight so that we can know how to work on our karma, this breath, as you just said, that when we know how to work on the breath, we can control that Rahu mind, because Rahu actually works on the mind, and we can control that Rahu mind, get it aligned. And this very Rahu mind can help people reach great heights. If I am using it in my 8th house for research and I'm erratic with my breath, my research work will go waste. It will be very erratic. At the same time, this Rahu in the 8th house with a very strong breath control will help me in going deep in my research, not just research, sadhana also. So that's a very fantastic thing that we can understand. And you've also said that you have to be on time with yoga and all those things. Why do you say that? Even with the breath work, you say you must give 15 minutes of it every day in your classes. Why do you say that?
Because of that discipline, because of that connectivity, because of that habit formation. As I told you, at that spur of the moment, when you're very angry, you will spurt it out. You don't have the control. But if you have been practicing pranayam, you will have the control. Remember, our elders used to say, when you are very angry, count till 10 and then speak something. What was that count 10, tell formula? That formula was, again, get your breath back to normal so that you can think clearly, and then whatever you speak, you don't regret it later. That is why that connect and that practicing for 15 minutes every day, that is why it is important. And now what you just mentioned about breath and your Rahu and anger and Rahu, I remember long back, somebody was reading my charts and I think Rahu was not proper. So that person had actually told me to do breath work and meditation. Now I can connect why that person told me. So this is such a beautiful information and knowledge that you're sharing with all of us.
Thank you, Didi. And while you were talking about discipline, that that breath needs a discipline. So that Saturn, which is also the Vayu Tattva, which is also about breath, which is also Kal or time. So as you said, right at the beginning, we are born when we take a first breath, that is about time starting to tick for us on this planet called Earth. And when we breathe our last, that is again time stopping for us on this planet. Saturn follows us throughout. Saturn is discipline. Saturn is time. So if we are disciplined with our time about breath work and everything, Saturn will eventually give us what we deserve and in fact what we desire. So we doing all these things on a very subtle level actually is a strong remedial for Saturn and Rahu also, because this is taking us to a different level. We don't have to go out anywhere. If we realize the benefits, not only physically benefiting us mentally and doing a remedial every day without having to go out. This is such a beautiful thing to be. And more about pranayam, about its health benefits that you would like to, share with us.
Sure, but then I will go back to your earlier question when you said, why do we need to have the discipline for the breath work? Because you have to understand, body is a gross physical entity. Breath is very subtle, okay? So because breath is subtle, for our mind to go here and there, when we are doing the breath work and the pranayam is very easy. When we are working with the body, it is the gross body, physical body. So we know, okay, our hand is going this way. If I stretch my hand beyond the level, there is a pain. If I'm working and exercising regularly, I can see results. So the results and the impact is a little more, you can feel it and you can see it. With the breath, because it is subtle, the mind goes here and there very fast. So to be more disciplined, to regulate and to be more disciplined in your pranayam practice is needed, so then it can give you the results. So you have to put in a little more effort in your language to keep our Rahu and our Saturn happy. You have to do a little more effort through the breath work.
Yeah, so they're basically malefics. They do need more pleasing than the other benefits. So that, yes, so that effort is required.
It explains everything. Yes.
Thank you. And what about the health benefits? So this is about the benefit that we see on our planetary level and we see on a mental level and a disciplinary level. But what about the physical health levels that will kind of, it will give us an initiative, to go ahead and practice pranayam. What are the health benefits that we can see with a regular pranayam practice?
See, for the health benefits, our body is sun and moon. Okay, we call it the yin and the yang, the sun and the moon, the solar and the lunar. It's all about balancing. We need as much the sun as we need the moon. Sun is needed for us to wake up in the morning, to give us that spark, to give us that energy, to make us be more active so that throughout the day we can function well. Why is moon very important when it comes to our health and related to us, our body and mind? Moon is important so that we can sleep well, so that we can start slowing down, so that we can start becoming more calm and more mild, so that we can sleep well. So a balance between sun and moon is very important. And a very beautiful pranayam which does this for us is the Nari Shodhana. Okay, with Nari Shodhana, we are using both the solar and the lunar entities of the physical body. So the red nostril, it represents the sun, and the left nostril, it represents the moon. So when we are doing Nari Shodhana, which is inhaling through one nostril, exhaling through the other, again inhaling and exhaling, it completes one full cycle. And if there's any imbalance, either in your solar nadi or your lunar nadi, it will bring a balance. And this balance gives us good health. For any normal, healthy individual, any one nostril will be dominant at any one point of time. We are breathing through both the nostrils, but one nostril will be dominant. And this is written under Swara Yoga. Now, this dominance will change for a healthy person in between any 60 to 90 minutes. Say, for example, right now, your right nostril is more dominant. Your Swara Nadi, your solar Nadi is more dominant. After 60 to 90 minutes, your lunar Nadi should be more dominant. If that switch doesn't happen, if that imbalance is there in the body, it will create physical problems or mental health problems also. But if it is balanced, then you will have optimum health. So when you practice Nari Shodhana regularly, okay, it helps to balance the solar and the lunar energies in the body. That's one of the examples. Similarly, we have a lot of other different kind of pranayams which give us different health benefits. Now, supposing you're not looking into all of these health benefits, we're just looking into how it helps us to relax. Whenever we are taking long and deep breaths, okay, or else if we are doing abdominal breathing, where we breathe in up to the belly, we expand the belly, while exhaling, we relax the belly. There is a vagus nerve, which is connected from the navel, from the navi to the nervous system. And it activates that part of the nervous system, which is responsible to help us to rest and renew and recharge. And in this fast moving world, Anuradha, all of us, we need that resting period because we are always on the move. We do it with so much of vigor and we want the results immediately. So that grounding down, that settling down energy is very important. And that energy gets activated when we do deep abdominal breathing. Then we can sleep very well. And we all know that if we sleep well, then the next day will be very fresh and very good for us.
Just as this episode has been for us, a lot of information in a very small time, but we understand the importance of breath, not just on a physical level, for us to get grounded, for us to relax, for us to get recharged, but also as a remedial measure, one that helps us to come in a proper state according to our chart and function to our optimum. So remember, breath is life. And if you regulate it properly, you will be living your life to the fullest. So thank you so much, Didi, on this beautiful topic. Till we meet with you again, stay safe. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Please hit the bell icon for fresh updates. Don't forget to like, share, and comment on the videos, and please subscribe to our channel.